Hey guys, this is AniMat, and welcome for the very first time to the Muppet Vlog. Okay, so the first thing that I want to address is that since this is the first episode, this one will be a little bit longer. Don't worry, the ones coming up, they will be a little bit shorter, considering that in this one, not only will I be talking about the episode itself, but I'm also going to put in my first, impressions of it, since, this is my first time seeing it. But anyways, let's just get things started. As you guys may know, not too long ago, as I'm recording this, ABC just released The Muppets, which is a new series, and is pretty much a brand new take on The Muppets, where it's pretty much a much more adult show than what they have previously done before. So it isn't just pretty much a sketch show that's geared more for kids and stuff like that. This is actually something that's more for adults than it would be for kids. But the first thing that I do want to talk about is actually the first episode that was released, which is called Pig Girls Don't Cry, and that is the pilot episode. Basically what's been going on in that episode... Oh, and by the way, I will mention that, yeah, there might be a bit of spoilers in here, so it would probably really help if you guys have seen the show. But anyways, basically in this episode, it's pretty much we get an introduction about Up Late with Miss Piggy, and where she absolutely refuses to have Elizabeth Banks appearing on the show, but Kermit just pretty much wants to go with it anyways. While at the same time that is happening, Fozzie Bear, apparently he has a girlfriend, go figure, and pretty much he just wants to go impress, the girlfriend's parents and stuff like that. So, basically, my initial thoughts on it, overall, I think it's actually pretty good. It actually is a gripping episode. I'm honestly really surprised that you really do get a lot out of it in those, 30 minutes. Pretty much, it was just shooting gag after gag after gag after gag in all, these different scenarios, yet it knows very well how to handle them together. Pretty much, it knows exactly how to combine, plot A and plot B and how to manage that together, which is pretty good. Normally, I've seen, the formula of, The Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff like that, how they pretty much, they have their own plot A and plot B. Sometimes it does happen when they don't mix them together, but at least with this one, it does. And, it completely doesn't shy away from featuring, many different other Muppets and presenting how they're doing their job. Gonzo, the Electric Mayhem, Scooter, Rizzo, Pepe, and, several others. Oh, and also Statler and Waldorf, because, of course, you can't have the Muppets without Statler and Waldorf. But basically, I'm sure, when more episodes will come, there will be more of them as well. Oh, and I just remembered, also Bobo is there. He's pretty much on the side as well, so it's kind of funny, because, Bobo is one of the ones that appeared much later, yet, it's surprising you often find him in prominent roles, not just in that one, but also in, in the recent Muppet movies as well. It's kind of funny seeing him pop up. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, I actually really like Bobo. But, anyways, it really is an interesting episode, but one of the other things that I'm also really surprised about is how, they can also handle the emotions. Sure, it's a pretty funny show, but at the same time, I'm actually pretty surprised how, it can be, not necessarily shocking. Shocking wouldn't be the good word in this. I'd say probably, emotional at the same time, because, there was a scene. Well, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I'll say that, it actually shows the moment when Kermit and Miss Piggy broke up. And it's actually pretty shocking, to say the least. And, at least in terms of story-wise, they know how to, okay, maybe I'm just repeating myself, but, they know how to blend it, pretty much blend it together, where, which scenario comes from, in each segment. And, I will admit, and then you also got the plot with Fozzie, where he has to go impress his parents, which I will admit, like, the story itself, like, that is kind of the cliche thing where like, he is trying to impress his parents, and that they're pretty tough, considering that he's a bear, and, like, his girlfriend and her girlfriend's parents are, well, they're basically people and stuff like that. But, like, I gotta say that it's not as strong as, like, the main plot with, Kermit, Miss Piggy, and, like, the involvement with Elizabeth Banks and stuff like that. But, the thing with Fozzie is that maybe it's not as funny as you'd probably expect. Like, there are some good jokes that came out of it, but, like, it is pretty cliched. It is, like, it's not really as interesting as the main plot itself. So, sometimes, like, when they look outside of the studio life, it's not really as grand as you probably expect. But yeah, overall, I would say that for the pilot episode itself, that it really is a really interesting and a really good episode, and, like, at least, like, it'll start me to get interested, like, to see more episodes as they come. But now with that said, let me just put out my first thoughts, like, just my first thought. I can't speak. I don't know why. Like, it's not that much of a tongue twister. First thoughts. Maybe it is. But anyways, let me just express my first thoughts into what's pretty much going on with the show itself. And I gotta say, like, as I stated before, I am pretty interested. Like, as a Muppet fan, I really am happy with what they did with it. It really is an interesting twist, and, you know, I could pretty much go with it. It definitely is a more adult Muppets. And, I guess at the same time, it does have a bit of its pros and cons. Like, as an adult show in itself, like, one of those, like, more adult primetime shows, it definitely is, you know, it's pretty legit. I would say it's pretty solid. I don't know why. Like, my mouth refuses to make me say words right. But also, like, it does have a bit of its cons. Like, I was reading a bit of reviews, and, like, I was pretty surprised to find that it's not really as well received as I would probably expect. I wasn't expecting, like, great things, but at the same time, like, I was pretty surprised that a lot of people, like, pretty much panned it, which, like, I don't think it really, like, it's really pan-worthy or that kind of stuff. It's just that I'm really surprised that they would find, like, it's so disrespectful to the Muppets and stuff like that. Oh, I don't like it. It's like, this is not who Kermit is, or stuff like that. But, like, I just want to look at them and say, like, well, they're going with a more adult theme of the Muppets. Like, that is what is to be expected. But I do understand a little bit of the criticisms over the fact that it feels like it's not like the Muppets. It's not, like, it doesn't have, like, its zaniness, like, those unpredictable, over-the-top moments that the original series has. So, like, the moments of unpredictability and just, like, they're pretty much reduced to a more realistic lifestyle of what's going on behind the scenes at a late show. But, at the same time, like, sure, it's definitely different, but I do feel at the same time it does still hold on to the spirit of the original show. Like, you could still watch this and you can recognize that it is a Muppet show, because they're all setting up for, like, it's definitely a modernized, I think that's the best way to put it. It's a more modernized Muppet show where basically they all do it in the style. Instead of just doing, like, a sketch show, they do it in a way that's like a mockumentary, more in the spirit of The Office and stuff like that. And they go into like this they go behind the scenes into a late night talk show, which pretty much which talk shows are nowadays, like, the big thing. That's what they got to do. Honestly, I definitely feel like this is a more successful attempt than what they did with Muppets Tonight. Because that one, honestly, that was a bit weird. Like, sure, that one has more of the zaniness that the Muppets are known for, but, like, the show overall, honestly, that one doesn't really feel as good. This one, at least, it's definitely a better attempt. Like, it still holds on to what we love about the Muppets, but it definitely does go into a brand new approach to it. It's not, like, I wouldn't say it's not as good as the Muppet Show, but definitely better than some of the more weaker stuff. Like, this is definitely, like, I'd take this over Muppets Tonight. Well, so far, again, this is just my first take on it. But also, I would say there is one more thing that I would like to address about, and like one of the biggest things that is going on with the scandal about the Muppets and stuff like that, and that is regarding the big breakup between Kermit and Miss Piggy, and the fact that Kermit has a new girlfriend named Denise. Okay, now this is just something that, when I first heard about the news, you would expect, like a big Muppet fan like me, I would be completely shocked to see that. Like, oh my god, Kermit broke up with Miss Piggy, oh my god, what a major shocker and stuff like that. But honestly, when I first saw that, I was absolutely unfazed. When I first saw it, like, I did not care in the slightest. Yeah, like, I know what you guys are thinking, that, oh, they just broke up because it's, like, promotional aspects for the Muppets, and, like, oh, they'll eventually get together, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, technically, yes, that is true, but that's not really the reason why I was so unfazed. Allow me to explain. Now, for someone who has grown up and, like, have seen Kermit and Miss Piggy, like, in all these different scenarios and stuff like that, here's a little secret about the Muppets. Kermit and Miss Piggy's relationship, it has always been on and off. It has always been so complicated. There are times when things seem a little bit rocky with the relationship between Kermit and Miss Piggy and stuff like that. They're not always together. It does happen when, like, this is not the first time that they've ever broken up. And I just took a little break and I just looked it up, and I just want to mention something pretty big. Technically, Kermit and Miss Piggy, they were married. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, Muppets Take Manhattan, but at the ending scene, they were actually married. And, like, I don't know, I guess people immediately, like, forgot about it. And I don't know, like, and here's actually a better recent example, the 2011 Muppets. In there, like, it has been established that Kermit and Miss Piggy have broken up for a good while. So I don't really know why is it that Kermit pretty much, like, how nowadays when Kermit and Miss Piggy broke up, that just suddenly made major news, and, like, the media just has to eat that out. Like, really? Like, you gotta really make that bit of news, like, so shocking? And also, I just want to criticize one funny thing about Denise. Like, when I first took a look about Denise, she actually reminded me of one major thing. Miss Piggy. Okay, no, I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, well, Kermit is dating another pig. Of course, that makes you think of Miss Piggy. No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about when we first see Miss Piggy ever, like, way back in the beginnings of the Muppet Show. Like, beforehand, Miss Piggy actually had those same, like, realistic human eyes. And, like, now looking at Denise, it's like, I feel like it's a bit of deja vu, and not gonna lie, I do find that it seems a bit weird seeing those, like, really big, realistic human eyes on a pig face. It just makes it so weird overall. But yeah, overall, I just want to say that I really do like the Muppets. Like, I really did enjoy the first episode, and I can't wait to see what's there more to come. Yes, it is a little bit different than what we're normally expected from the Muppets and, like, from the previous shows and stuff like that. But it is a little bit to be expected. They're trying something different, and so far, it's working. I wouldn't say that it's fully working. It's not like a major thing. Like, it doesn't work totally, but, you know, it's working. Like, at least they got a lot of things right in it. But anyways, that's pretty much it for now, so tune in next time to see what goes on to the next episode. And until next time, see you later, dudes!